Ever felt frustrated, overwhelmed, or stuck wasting time in admin instead of growing, leveraging, and scaling your business? Then this podcast is for you. Welcome to Delegate to Elevate, the podcast that's all about handing off what you don't need to do so you can focus on what you do best. So here's your host, Bonnie Schutz.
This is Bonnie, your host of Delegate to Elevate. Get shit done. Thank you for listening today. I really appreciate it. Today, I would like to talk about a subject that is pretty relevant in my industry, the VA or virtual assistance realm. But we'll find out later when I bring on some amazing guests. But I am sure this happens throughout every professional services industry or specialty as well. So the topic is, what are the common mistakes when somebody is learning to delegate or have recently brought somebody on that they are delegating to or been working with them a little while and things happen? So I'll give you a little list here and kind of expand upon it in my experience. So a big thing is miscommunications and in not being clear enough with what you need and when you need it and how exactly you'd like it to be done. I think I've touched on this in a previous episode before, but I can't drive home more. Yeah, in fact, I did. It was in the 7 C's episode, which I think was my last episode. I can't drive home more the power of communication. And part of communicating is clarity. It's communicating and over-communicating what you want this person to do for you. It sounds simple when I say it, but so many times it can be misconstrued. It can be lost in translation. You can lack a tone. And I say that because many people prefer to, quickly DM something or, text it to somebody. This is how I want it done, or you're not doing this right, or something that could come across wrong. And what has worked for me in clarifying both my expectation and my intent for my message about whatever it is audio clips. Audio clips. Love me a good audio clip. Then it's short, sweet, to the point, and they can hear your tone. I have been so often misinterpreted. I could just, Ralph. I get so upset, honestly. I laugh. I jest at it, but I truly get upset because there's so many times that my intent is genuine and kind and encouraging and things like that. But boy, oh boy, sometimes it can get misconstrued, misinterpreted. And so leaving a quick audio clip so they can hear your tone provides clarity. I wish I could think of an example. It might be like, you did a great job on the social media post on Tuesday, but maybe we could do better. That's how you might just read it. And all of a sudden, the person that's receiving it is reading like, oh crap, I just f***ed up. I didn't do good. That's the way I read that. But if Bonnie left a clip, an audio clip, hi, great post on Tuesday. Thank you so much. I think we can do better. And let's take your post and take it up a notch. By listening to my tone and the clarity in the delivery of that communication, they're not going to feel bad. They're not going to read between the lines things that aren't supposed to be there. So again, it's clarify. Make it black and white, right? It's one thing or the other thing. There's no gray area. They have complete clarity. So that is a very, very common mistake. People are in a rush. They're busy. They're not thinking about how things are going to be received. So think about how things are going to be received. Speak more than you type. And hashtag guilty. I love to email. My number one communication love language is email. I would prefer to send an email over anything else, but I've been lately getting really good at sending audio clips. Lastly, about that is, it's short and sweet, and I'm a talker, hence why I'm doing a podcast. I can go off subject. I can ping all over the place, and there goes an hour when it could have been a 2-minute audio clip from me. So another common mistake that I see in at least my industry and probably all of yours is that the person receiving the services has extremely high expectations, unbelievably high expectations, unrealistic expectations. And with that, what are you going to get? You're making an assumption. And when you assume, you make an ass out of you and me, right? Is that how the saying goes? So that's the same with high expectations or unrealistic expectations. You also get what you pay for. Just saying that. So try not to go too cheap just because it's cheap. You're going to get that quality. And those expectations at that point will not be met. Let your expectations be middle of the road, and maybe you'll be pleasantly surprised because they'll be exceeded. All you can do is continue to encourage and think of those expectations in your head and think, this is where I really want this person to be. So let me start them here and be patient. And that's hard because I have to draw my patience all the time. Pull it out, Bonnie, pull the patience. All right. Be patient. Seeds will grow. Relationships will develop between you and that person. And the original expectations that you have will start to become joint expectations. It'll raise the bar because of your kindness, because of your ability to deliver things with empathy for what they have going on in their lives, or, how busy how full their plate is, that kind of thing. Over expecting things and, having too high of expectations, not good. My next thing I would say is a common mistake is micromanaging. So I can't remember how many times, a bajillion in my corporate career, that I was micromanaged. And as I started working and managing people and bringing in people as contractors to do projects for me or support me in any kind of way, admittedly, I became a bit of a micromanager where I thought I was being helpful in dipping in to see what they were doing and giving my 2 cents along while they were doing it, like in mid-project or whatever. It's not working very well. So I have dug deep and I have thought about it, and boy, it takes every ounce of everything inside me to not be a control freak. And that's the whole point of delegation. It's a muscle that you have to gain from working it out. I'm such a workout queen. But that muscle I do work. Micromanaging is bad. No. Micromanaging is so bad. It sets the tone unrealistically. And here you are again. Your expectations are too high. So you got to give a little leash, right? A little leash to these people. Trust that they're going to get it done. I've said that before. This delegation game is a full-on trust fall. You got to trust and not micromanage. But there's this other little thing you can give instead of micromanaging, and that's feedback. Always start with something positive. You did great on this. Thank you so much. You are a rock star. And mean it, honestly mean it. Because, if they're trying, they have an A for effort. I totally believe in that. So give a Yahoo always at the beginning. Don't just dig right into, oh my God, what you did wrong. But instead of micromanaging, say, I love how you did this. Can I give a point of view that's a little bit different that might be something that I'd prefer? Add some humor in there. I don't know how to put it right here, but think of something funny. Keep the mood light. Then it'll automatically take that level down a little bit. And, it's going to open them up to your feedback, and they'll take it as feedback and a chance to impress you further. Again, you can be clear and you can set that bar like, oh my God, you are right here. In a couple months, we're going to be up here, that kind of thing. So, micromanaging, bad. Cheering them, encouraging them, telling them, I like what you did. Try not to use the word but. I like what you did. My first instinct is to say, I like it, but really, like what you did. Let's go with that for now. But you know what I'd love to see? Next time you do this, can you take it up a notch? Maybe add XYZ to that. Let's do this. Ooh, I'm so excited. And let them see your energy. And I truly believe you'll have a win-win situation after that. And possibly the last thing I would say is a common mistake is when you are looking for and you're interviewing and you're choosing this person to delegate things to, whether it's a VA or a marketing firm or a fractional salesperson, that kind of thing, you pick the wrong damn person. And sometimes you don't know. They come off with what I think of as a recruiter, because part of what I do is recruit. They come off really, really well in the recruiting side when you're interviewing them. And then when it comes to applying, when they get the role, they're a totally different person. So dig deep in the selection process. And this is going to be very old school, but get references and call the references and be down to earth. Now be like, hey, Bob. Now, she probably wouldn't give you as a reference, if you didn't like her. But tell me honestly, business person to business person, did she do well for you? Where did she lack? Is it something that I could teach her to get better at, encourage her? Is she open to feedback? Ask those extra questions so you don't make that last common mistake of picking the wrong person. Let's pick the right person. You may pick the wrong, but that's life. And know that with anything, there's change. And use your EQ and your experiences to determine the right person for you. Do your due diligence, if I could speak today. Anyway, so does this bode with you? Do you feel it? Do you see what I'm saying? These are common mistakes that can be overcome. But I wanted to share with you what I believe they are. And I want to know if you have any takeaways. Comment. Share something with me. Let me know. Send me a DM about something else I could have added to this list of common mistakes. Anything you've been through that I missed? I hope you will subscribe and leave me a review. Let me know in the comments what I could do better for you and give me your feedback. I don't want to make a mistake. I don't want to have the expectations of this podcast unmet. So all I can do is take your feedback, your criticisms, your tips and tricks, and I will make this better and better for all of us. And lastly, I want you to subscribe and follow and share with your friends and colleagues, because I've got some amazing guests coming your way and very soon. So have an amazing day. Thank you so much for tuning in again. I appreciate you.
So that's it for today's episode of Delegate to Elevate. Head on over to Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen and subscribe to the show. One lucky listener every single week that posts a review on Apple Podcasts or iTunes will win a chance in the grand prize drawing to win a $15,000 private VIP day with Bonnie herself. Be sure to head on over to delegatetoelevatepodcast.com. That's with the number 2. And pick up a free copy of Bonnie's gift and join us on the next episode.